You're afraid that people are watching, so you don't do the thing, not realizing that nobody actually gives a fuck. Nobody's actually watching you. And this was a interesting mindset shift I needed to go through in many different areas of my own journey. When I first started going out and doing cold approach and approaching women, I wasn't even worried about the girl's reaction. There was just people around. And I was so worried that when I would go up and talk to the girl, what everybody else was gonna think of me. These people are gonna watch me and look at me and judge me for talking to the girl. I wonder if they're gonna say something. And then when I was posting content online, my next concern was, what about everybody that follows me? They're all gonna be watching this thing and talking about me. And even before I got into doing either of those things, I was so concerned with what my friends would think. Like, my friends would go out on the weekends and I was worried that if I didn't go out, they were either gonna just laugh at me and talk shit, or the other part of it was I was worried they were gonna have so much fun without me and I missed out on the fun night out for the week, which was then gonna be the talk of the group for the next 7 days or until whenever, right? And so you probably have experienced this in one form or another. It's either with women and socializing, with your friend group, with you wanting to post content or post that thing online or whatever it is, right? It could be, I mean, dude, I've been so antisocial in my journey. There was a period in my journey where I was afraid to raise my hand in the classroom, afraid of what people were gonna think about me if the teacher called on me and then I had to speak because there would be pressure on me. Like, think about how crazy that is. Can't even participate in class due to social anxiety. Like, that was literally the level I was at. So I would show up to college. Actually, I would show up late. If I showed up to class 3 minutes late, I could still walk into the classroom and not be marked down as late, but I wouldn't have to talk to anybody. I could just walk in, put my head down, and that was me. All right, that was me. And I wanted to make this video for you guys because you need to understand that the people that you're worried about that are gonna judge you for doing the thing, they don't even care. They actually don't give a fuck. You're worried that when you go up and approach that woman, that the people around you are gonna look at you. I've gone up and done this, I don't even know how many times, I've lost count, but thousands of times I have gone out and made approaches in public. And I think there has been one time comes to my brain exactly, but I think there's probably been maybe 2 times in 2 out of thousands. So let's just say, I don't know, public approaches somewhere between, I can't even put a number on it, but if I had to guess 5 to 10K approaches, interactions, maybe 10K plus, I'm not sure. You know, it's been 10 years of doing this stuff, but out of all of those, there's probably been 2 people that came up to me after the interaction went on and said something to me. And ironically enough, which was my biggest fear, was that someone was gonna say something to me afterwards. And the only 2 times that those 2 people came up to me, you know what happened? One of them was a younger kid. He wasn't that young, he was a little bit younger. He came up and saw me do the whole thing, and he was like, bro, that was so cool that you went up and did that. Like, bro, like, I wish I saw her, my friend saw her too. Like, that was so cool that you actually did that, right? This was a really long time ago. The other time that it happened, I actually made a very close friend out of the whole thing. Like, the moment it ended, there was a guy that was standing next to me. He was like, yo, I saw what you did there. And I was like, yo, that's what's up, bro. And we started talking and we actually became friends. Those were the only 2 times in my entire career, entire journey, that I've actually had somebody come up to me after I went up and talked to a stranger and someone said something to me. Only 2 times ever, okay? Now, let that sink in. I actually, in hindsight, I kind of wish more people would come up to me, because it seems like every time someone comes up, I either make a friend or I get into a great conversation and it positively reinforces the idea that it's a good decision. But we as men, we're so concerned about the opposite side of things. We think that you're gonna leave the interaction and then there's gonna be someone who comes up and says, I saw what you did and that's just, it's not right, and you're out here doing this creepy thing and that was just so creepy and you should just stop and you should just go home. People aren't doing that. Right? That's not happening. Even if, worst case scenario, I've even had this, I've heard this from clients, like worst case scenarios, somebody comes up, understand that they still don't care about you. They're doing it to make themselves feel better. Like, if they're gonna say something, it's not because they even care about you. They literally don't care about you. When you post something online and you're afraid that your friends are gonna judge you, they don't actually give a fuck. Everything is just in relation to how it makes that person feel about themselves. So if anybody talks negatively, it's because it triggers something within them about themselves. That's why people will talk shit on you negatively. Nobody that's vibing high as fuck or like really, really successful or feels so amazing about themselves is gonna come up and say something negative to you. They just would never do that. It only happens to people that are very low, very negative, very hurt internally about themselves, and your action creates some sort of effect inside of them, and then they have the need to then act out as a reaction to you. It's actually a good thing. They're literally in reaction to you, right? But we're so focused on the fear of the thing, whether it's approaching or posting or your friend groups. Guys, understand, man, none of these people give a fuck. None of these people give a fuck. The people out in public, I can't tell you what a single person's face looks like. Not only the people around them, I can't even tell you what one of these women's faces look like anymore. That's crazy to think about. After 3 months goes by, 10 years of doing this, I can't point out a single girl's face. Maybe a couple of them because we recorded them. I have the interactions, but like outside of that, I can't picture a single woman's face, let alone the people around. None of that matters. But you do know, you want to know what does matter? I can't tell you about any of those people. I can only tell you the man I have become in the process of taking the uncomfortable action when I had the fear, the doubt, the concern, the worry kick in those moments, and I did the thing anyway. That's all I can tell you. Literally. I can also tell you the guy's face that I became friends with after the approach happened. I can't even remember the younger kid's face who came up to me and congratulated for me approach. None of it is in my brain anymore. The only thing that I am left with to this day is the man I have become from taking that uncomfortable action. So the next time that you're out and you want to say something and you're worried about the other people, you want to post a thing and you're worried about what the people are going to say, you got to catch yourself in that moment and realize they don't even care. It's actually a freeing thing. At first, it's kind of sad because you're like, wait, nobody gives a fuck about me, nobody cares. But it's actually kind of freeing knowing like, I could do this thing and the world goes on. But you will walk away from that feeling like, I did the thing. I did the thing that I was afraid to do. And for that reason, you'll actually feel accomplished, as you should, right? Or what's gonna happen is you let that fear, doubt, concern, worry control you. And really what happens then is you're pretty much just left on the other side of it, wondering what could have happened if you did the thing. And then you beat yourself up more, and then the negative talk kicks in more, and then you go home and you just wonder about the whole thing, man. Those are the two sides of the whole thing, right? And the last thing that I will say is like, if you're afraid of talking to someone in public, you're afraid of posting the thing, you will get desensitized to it, right? I was afraid too. I was literally afraid to go up and approach the women. Eventually I went up, I did the thing. I realized nobody actually gave a fuck. Whoa. I posted the thing. Nobody gave a fuck. I didn't go hang out with that friend group. Nothing bad happened. And as you give your brain more and more evidence that it's okay, that nothing will really happen, that these people won't even judge you, you then start to see the other side of it, right? And over time, you can get more and more and more desensitized to the perception of these other people. And that's how you'll actually get to a point where you genuinely don't give a fuck as a man, right? Not in a bad way, not that you don't care about anybody, but you don't care about random people that have no significance to your life's perception of you. And that's really what's shackling most people out there, right? So it's just a mindset shift, man. And the next time you see yourself out, whether it's with women or with content with the friend group or your parents, whatever the thing is, I really encourage you, take that step and afterwards recognize like, nobody gave a fuck. It's a very freeing moment when you take that step and you come to that realization, all right? If you want help fast tracking that process, if you want more social confidence, if you want more of an abundant dating life, if you want stronger mindset, I'd love to help you with those things. All right, summer's right around the corner. It's the best time to make a transformation. You could click the link down below and fill out the application for an opportunity to work with me directly. That's all for this video, guys. Peace out.